when it comes to Pavelski, years, time over time, seeing Val. And I'm not surprised at all with Koji and Val to see things start off here on Demon Island.
Yeah, the only thing that I could that I expect Pavelski to do differently is if he brought it over to the Scythe, maybe on that Mordex. But opening up with the Val here, going up against Koji on Swata, Demon Island will be game number 1. And that down sig will catch Swata overreaching, and the dodge into the side light, getting so much extra damage after dodging that sider from Swata means that Pavelski takes the damage lead, and the ground pound keeps Swata in the air.
Yeah, Pavelski moments are already starting off, because you saw the way he pushed the advantage to try and keep that damage going was already in sweat beads, just trying to force Swata to not touch the ground. But right here, this is a great position as he catches Swata, slightly overextending. I don't even call that a bad play on Swata to go out there to try and get that dare. Pavelski saw through it, though. Like we said, you're off stage with him, you're likely to lose the stock.
Yeah, and the ground pounds from Pavelski so far were pretty interesting because he was using them in a way that he got the very edge of the ground pound, avoiding the sword recovery. Great D-like ground pound from Swata to even things up there. But we saw Pavelski use that spacing on the ground pound earlier on the left side of the stage when recovering, and then using it to secure the stock on the right. Now we are in an even stock scenario, and Swata with a sword. Nice dash jump, fast fall nair. You got to pivot that correctly to be able to get the backswing. So, and he does it once again. Very hard to get that grounded, but Swata getting it so consistently.
He's doing very well on spacing and controlling center. That matters so much against someone like Pavelski, because you force Pavelski to walk towards you, you keep that damage up. Just missing out on the jump, he had a good call on that D-light, but Pavelski looking through it, does not get that GC neutral light, and instead has been getting hit on a lot of whiffs. Just getting in space, Swata just spacing him out every time.
Oh, and look at that. Silent there. That's the second time Pavelski's got that. He's been so good at it. He's doing these dodges, waiting for Swata to go in. And even if he doesn't, he cancels it into the side light, scoops Swata up, and puts even more damage onto him. But Pavelski, still at a deficit, has to avoid getting caught by that D-light. And he does. Dashes in for the punish. Brings Swata off stage. And there's going to be a Pavelski side stick here. No! He waits. He dash jumps. And he delays the ground pound.
I like how he did that, too, because Swata went up to the corner, got wall touch, faded in, faded out. And he did that before, too, on the previous edge guard. So Pavelski's seeing a very similar pattern, saying, I get the feeling you're going to hover out there too long. Let me see if I can catch this, and he did.
Yeah, and I like that in both instances. Nice deal that recovery. Man, Swata, no matter how much Pavelski gets off of those offstage ground pounds, it's evened up with like single-digit numbers on damage taken on the way back. So keeping this really even. But yeah, Pavelski,
close as you can kind of call between the two of them right now. That dare, however, put Pavelski in a very bad spot. Currently trying to find his way on. Luckily for him, Swata was a little bit too high, so he's able to sneak his way back on pretty free.
Yeah, that diagonal dodge actually got him to touch the wall, but still slide over the stage. Oh, the neutral signature trying to read a dodge upwards. Pavelski avoids it narrowly, but he's at a damage deficit once again. But the nair comes through, and that spot dodge doesn't lead to anything else but the side air.
Interesting fact, Koji GC neutral sigs off stage are like 0 for 5 for this weekend to start things off between SEA, OS, and now here in EU. So that actually needs to go up soon.
Oh, that is a low percent indeed. I mean, it's literally 0.
Batting average is 0. But when it hits, it's going to be like batting average of 2. But you got a home run, so you'll be all right. But that is a home run play right there. You're going to go ahead and catch him on the side light recovery and taking him out. Excuse me, side air recovery. But Pavelski was so on point with the gauntlets. I think that was actually the primary win condition for Pavelski throughout that match. The ground pound for one, but like you were saying before,
it happened in the replay, right? And so another interesting thing, you were talking about gauntlets. That's a 404 on the damage for gauntlets compared to the 90 on sword. So definitely the highlight there. There's the double side light into recovery. And an interesting note there is before we get into game 2, Pavelski had less damage on the win. Swata was constantly taking a damage lead over Pavelski on every single stock, but Pavelski was able to secure those stocks when he got those dodge reads, whether it be off stage with the ground pounds or on stage there with the double side light. So let's see if Swata can avoid getting capitalized on by those options here, because from what I'm seeing, Swata is just winning neutral against Pavelski more often. Pavelski's just getting those game-winning knockouts.
Like we said, off-stage gameplay is the name of the game for Pavelski. When you're off-stage with them, high likelihood you're not making it back. And that's exactly what happened the first game. And already started things off here. Swata in a very similar position. Had about 5 hits off of advantage to start it off. Has barely given up much since. But when Pavelski gets in with the gauntlets, it's been a problem. Seems like Swata had a better answer, at least to start that time for the gauntlets.
Ooh, side light punished by Swata. Love the downer afterwards to bounce him up. The recovery doesn't hit, and Pavelski fights back. But no weapon switch so far means that I put the advantage in Swata's favor here. But let's see if Swata can secure this knockout. Every time he goes for that, Pavelski's been waiting for it. We've got Pavelski in deep in red. a D-Light recovery will definitely knock out, but that's like one of the main things Pavelski's looking for.
Yep.
He puts up the down light, Pavelski dashes in, gets the punish, and then what do you know? Pavelski's got the stock lead. That D-Light, came so close to catching Swata. It doesn't. Swata gets the recovery, great punish, and Swata takes the lead in game 2.
Was able to answer back, though. Like you said, he's been dipping around Swata, going for the knockout confirms. And that
happen again.
So, yeah, look, see, 3 times, but that time, Swata being careful about it, and Pavelski knowing, look, I went off stage for you twice, which means you're probably going to come on. Covering him with the sword neutral sig was really smart in that position instead after he saw those exclamation points go up.
I mean, the pressure is so high there for Swata because Swata's, I know that all of his attention is on avoiding getting ground pounded. And when you put that much attention to it, next thing you know, you're about to slip off the wall. Pavelski gets the neutral sig as he recovers high, and that conditioning off stage is already paying off as we're going into the second stock. Game 2, dead even game.
Extremely close right now. Like you said, dead even. These satellites are starting to connect very well for Pavelski. He's missing out on the nairs, but it doesn't matter. Gets him after D-Light recovery in the skies, though. That was like a Pavelski play, but off stage. Instead, it was up in the skies. Going really deep for that, but that was an amazing whiff punish for Swata.
And Swata is just, this is where he's absolutely going to shine here because when he's got his opponent at 0, I feel like, well, it's almost guaranteed you're going to get him to red at this point. His ability to combo off of neutral wins is so fantastic on the bow. Look at that, neutral light sliding forward, tries to catch the landing with a down light. Pavelski dodges out of the way, and he gets caught by that neutral light. And, but Pavelski slide charge pivots the neutral signature. Great idea, Swata ready for it, and Swata trying to get Pavelski a taste of his own medicine again. Avoids it, but this 2-stock is almost inevitable at this point.
Yeah, we're pretty much sitting in that territory. Neutralize going to send him back off stage. Weapon toss down, covering him with the... Oh, no, he did just dip, but it didn't matter, though. You had to dip underneath. You cannot afford to get hit by the D-Light ground pound, and Pavelski could not sneak his way back towards the ledge. So that was an amazing answer back from Swata.
Yeah, the damage dealt very highly in favor of Swata this time, and what I liked about that downlight positioning that forced Pavelski's hand is that he pivoted it so that he slid towards the stage.
3, 2.
I'm looking at the graph here
on
the
with that D-Light recovery?
That D-Light recovery was such a low amount that he got knocked out at compared to how long Pavelski held on to the stock for the first and the third
Considering
one.
this is Demon Island, I thought he would have needed another sword nair to take him off the top, but he had just enough oomph on that to be able to get the knockout. And Pavelski once again punished for one of those fully charged neutral signatures. Swata starts this game 3 with a solid lead. Let's see who takes the first stock, though, because every time this has happened, Pavelski's managed to fight back, but that's going to be Pavelski's stock. I mean, does he have the dodge? Oh, he does!
Wow.
Okay. I was so convinced that Swata was going to be able to finish that off, but a great nair from Pavelski proves me wrong.
I didn't think he was going to make it back to that point either. I thought the weapon toss was lined up like on point to just close it out there. But this, like you said, this is started off this way every time. Not going to be able to take it off just yet. But even so, Swata always puts on the damage first, controls the lead, and then can't find a knockout right away. And Pavelski claws his way back in, evening things up. So even if he does fall right here, he's trying to play around D-Light really well. He finally got caught, but he was doing all of the positioning he could to play around D-Light.
Yeah, that was basically watching a survival game right there. Unarmed, just dashing back and forth. Like,
Survivor Season 7, Pavelski on Demon Island.
Versus Swata with a blade, right? Here he is, though. Game 3, 2 stocks to 3. Oh, man. This is the first time Swata has taken the first stock and really run away with it. If he could get another hit in here, that'd be huge. Pavelski's trying to get the double side light recoveries. The double side light doesn't come out, but Swata recovers so high that Pavelski chases him down anyways. And that
minimizes the damage compared to normal too, Kaza. Every time we've seen, like, once Swata gets advantage, it's usually like 6 hits. It's actually been kind of nuts. The now sweat beads, gonna read the landing up, D-Light Sair.
He hasn't touched the ground. He has a dodge. Okay, that was close. That was terrifying. I know Pavelski was staying airborne for a very long time there. Side air. Swata did a good job babysitting off the side of the stage that time, but no, dodges through. Nothing with the gauntlets so far, Ajax. They looked so good in game number 1, but no matter what weapon Pavelski's been on, Swata has been stuffing him out with the sword, and now with the bow picked up. Oh, this is a reversal.
That was exactly what Pavelski wanted. That was a Pavelski play, if we ever seen one that was lining up. D-Light side air is going to take it out, though. Swata he's playing so similar in style to Simple. Like, I'm not seeing him go for overextension. Swata we've always known how amazing his gameplay was with Hammer, but obviously with the changes, it's been a little bit different. I'm seeing similarities to that with the bow, but it's not leading to the same knockouts. However, Pavelski,
that's it.
Pavelski that was the best thing you could have asked for to get yourself back in the game.
Use the gauntlets to dribble him right across the side of the stage. Use the weapon throw for the stuff recovery, and it's an even game, and he needed it because it was looking bad for Pavelski. But yeah, you got to be careful though when he said that, Ajax. Even though I agree with you, it's like the Swata simple rivalry of them both being the both bars of you got like when you say that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, look, but both like they're not playing both.
I know,
now,
that's right.
So I'll go compare them until they start playing them again. But
back to this game though, Pavelski bringing it back really well, and that side light being avoided, but that 0 for 6.
0 for 7. 0 for 7.
I missed one.
There was one that happened before. I was keeping track.
Okay, good.
So far,
oh no,
0 for 8.
We're going for double digits in this set. Oh, can Pavelski get the weapon throw? Swata didn't touch the ground until that last second against the D-line side, and he's guarding Pavelski. Can he make it back? That diagonal dodge has been wonders for Pavelski on this stage. It's so hard to recover on Demon Island against a player like Swata. Pavelski, damage deficit, dribbles, but doesn't get hit with the D-Light.
That was so close to catching the GC D-Light recovery. That would have sent this to game number 4 with a 2-1 favor on Swata. Now things are still pretty close. Switching it up to the bow, trying to sneak his way through.
They're exchanging D-Lights, and they just keep whipping.
It looks like Swata's like trying to read a jump on Pavelski. That's so neutral sync, just missed.
Pavelski was trying to get that jump on Swata, and they're both narrowly avoiding each other. And they're playing it so much like it's a best of 3. It's a best of 5, but I feel like this win decides. Is that it?
Oh, there it is. He's going to catch him off the top. Being in the air specifically allowed that. I think if it was on the ground, he might have just survived that D-Light recovery. It would have been just close to range. But look at the damage numbers. They're still heavily in favor of Swata, but Pavelski is so good at answering back. It was a big part of that came from that edge guard that he had before, like you said, with that dribble off the side of the stage to keep himself in. That is the scariest thing about fighting Pavelski. Your damage numbers don't matter. He still keeps himself in it.
It's pretty amusing that the games are getting closer and closer, but Swata's like incrementing 100 damage every single time. Pavelski got him off stage, down 6, sure, can barely whiffs. But this is a good start for him so far. Nair, recovery, punished by Sair, but Swata hits him right off the side of the stage again. And both players now dodging around each other, looking for these neutral wins. And it's getting to the point, Ajax, where it feels like it's going to be one hit in exchange for one hit with how well these players are playing against each other.
You said it perfectly. They are playing nooch right now. They are. There's a lot of whiffs on dares I'm seeing on Pavelski, but he's still trying to find that big combo starter, and Swata's playing just around it.
Oh, he got it! He gets that dash jump, ground pound. Swata can't make it back to the stage, and just like in game 1, which is the only one Pavelski's won so far, he manages to find that ground pound. He's doing these dash jump, slightly delayed sword ground pounds to be able to get him off the right side of the stage, and he has been finding those so well. Now he's in the lead, 3-2, goes in for those side lights, falls down with the neutral light, good positioning there to be able to get him off the right side, and now we're
0 for 9.
Okay,
0 for 9.
As long as he's got the counter going.
Look, I mean, for Swata, it's 0 for 4, but for in general, it's like 0 for 9 right now.
We probably should be. We probably should say 0 for 4. Oh, the neutral sync is a spike, and he chase dodges down diagonally. Weapon throw into the pickup recovery. Side light, double side light, doesn't hit it, but the nairs are missing from Swata, and the Pavelski's putting on so much pressure that Swata can't even take a stock.
Yeah, he's looking for it right now. Neutral is going to send him off stage. Weapon toss down. He's not able to control. Oh, he didn't get the touch. All right, well. That worked out for Swata because he wasn't able to get the straight-up knockout off of it. Pavelski, I think he was expecting him maybe to go for a dare or something and just played too heavily around it.
Yeah, that Demon Island wall has caused so many stocks to fall. Pavelski, luckily, was on a fresh one when it happened, right? So D-Light recovery from Swata comes through, although this stock, which was fresh a few seconds ago, is already looking close to orange. Pavelski goes in for the side light, double side light, no recovery afterwards. Really going for that dodge, and the pummel will send Swata flying. Don't know how damaged the sword is, but I have a feeling it's going to be sent out of Swata's hands soon if he doesn't switch. Nice dodge. D-Light recovery gets him towards the top, but that's not going to be enough force to get that knockout just yet, but that definitely will have it. Pavelski up 2-1.
Straight up recovery, just catching him on the jump. He's been really good at conditioning Swata into playing on those jumps. Most of his damage has been from air-to-air game, but finally, Pavelski's starting to get something started again with these gauntlets. He was kind of lackluster before, not getting able to find it. Again, I'm not even going to point it out at this point.
It's fun, though.
Okay, so 0 for 10. 0 for 10 for the weekend.
All right. At that point, we can just stop. All right, back to the match, because this is close to being to a Game 5 scenario. That's 2 end lights. Pavelski getting Swata on the way back, trying to get that wake-up attack and not letting him have it. Neutrals comes through. Pavelski's chase dodging him all the way out there. He wants to get this with that 2 stock. Dodges the weapon throw, tries to D-light him through it, but the weapon goes over to Swata. It's going to take more than a D-Light recovery to bring this one back.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the first mark that he needed. Going to get that. He needs a very similar stock to what he's had to start off each game. He puts Pavelski in the red, borderline unchecked to start off rounds. He's not going to be able to do that here in game number 4 because Pavelski is going to make it so that we get a game number 5 already to start things off here.
And it's going to be Demon Island all the way through. Pavelski takes his first damage lead of the set.
Yep.
And that is really huge. Sword had a little bit more showcasing there, but as we were talking about since game 1, gauntlets are the name of the game. 354 damage there. We see that recovery towards the top. And all 5 games here played on Demon Island.
And out of the 4 signatures tossed, 50% connected.
Yeah.
That is huge because that is you finding your KO marks.
Yeah.
And that is also controlling Swata's jump game because that's a majority of what he's looking for, those sword neutral sticks, and they're finding their mark. So if he can replicate that here again, it might be Pavelski possibly taking it over Swata.
And this would be a pretty huge upset. I believe you said it was a 2-0 history for Swata.
Yeah, 2-0 in favor for Swata currently. And not to mention, Swata is, I believe, I want to say the 10th seed of the bracket compared to Swata being...
Oh, Pavelski's Pavelski being PR10 versus Swata's 3, and look at that. Gets that knockout. First strike goes over Pavelski. 2 more stocks, and Pavelski getting the winner's quarters over Swata here in the Autumn Championship. Sidelights through, has those gauntlets. He loves using that down stick on Demon Island. It hasn't been hitting Swata yet, but it's been forcing him to recover high. Be wary of that option, and that dash jump pivot. Sair catches Swata on the ground as Pavelski tries to take an even bigger damage lead. If he can do that, I mean, this is the best Pavelski's played all set. Usually when Pavelski takes a stock, Swata answers right back, and we're back to 2-2.
You know, normally, every event, I'm a Pavelski believer, and I have him in my top 3. And the one time I don't have him in my top 3, this is where he does. So apparently it was my fault. And
Pavelski, it's actually 7 for Swata.
Yeah, it's 0 for 7 on Swata. And that recovery almost making it that much closer to Pavelski taking it out. That will not be enough to take it off the top. But Swata needs to find an answer fast if he wants to keep himself in this. He's going to miss her on that. Pavelski's doing really good at avoiding a lot of these GCD lights now, and he's going to avoid that.
Oh, yeah, that's the first down stick Swata's put out. Neutral light pummels Swata, and Swata didn't touch the ground. Okay, voids the side light, Nair catches him. He could get a neutral light off the top there. I mean, that's possible. If Swata's able to snipe him, but the weapon throw comes down, does not hit him, so he doesn't get it back. And Pavelski catching the landings with the neutral lights over and over again. Is it going to be neutral stick? No need. Reads the spot dodge, gets that D-light recovery. Pavelski up 3 stocks to 1, Ajax.
Pavelski has completely shifted the entirety of the game. To start things off, everything was Swata having the dominant favor until Pavelski got his back in. Now Pavelski has been playing with the lead permanently, fading away, controlling center. There's not really a lot of reason to engage with that because every one of those side airs, neutral lights and such at center, I'm not going to knock out. That will take it out as he gets the D-light ground pound.
That was dangerous, though. Swata put everything on the line there to go for that D-light ground pound, and I saw the Nair animation. I was like, oh no, Swata going down. Pavelski, neutral light, side lights, gets that damage lead. Ground pound, no. Down air, went for that instead, and the recovery catches it, takes priority. But a side air, side light means that Swata takes even more damage, and while he's answering back, he still has 2 stocks through Pavelski to chew through. But the Nair hits, Swata's getting the wins without taking damage. Another Nair, that neutral stick. Okay, okay, that's 9. So that's 10.
He individually has brought it for 0 for ton. So we'll be looking back at that possibly as something that might have cost him.
How amazing would it be? He needs to take this stock and then end the set with the first hit neutral stick of the weekend.
You know that's going to be it, right? You know that would be absolutely the play that happens. But that's going to be a very tall task to ask for right now as Pavelski is holding this lead, but he has himself in a bad position. Weapon is going to get picked up. Now he has access to
recovery would take it. Okay. Ajax is 1 stock to 1.
Tassa, we got a game.
I want that neutral sig to finish off the set for the 3-2, but Pavelski, oh, it's so hard for me because let's just see how it plays out. Pavelski definitely had a huge lead here, but Swata gets 1 hit. 2 D-light, down air, side air.
He's getting the strings lined up here, Tassa. Pavelski dodging past that. Pavelski just trying to play around it. He's holding center. I like the reset back to center stage, but the weapon toss now gives him a slight advantage.
Okay, Pavelski has the weapon starve here, and he's looking for these pickup recoveries, not even off the down, like the neutral sig whiff. Side air hit. Swata can only take 1 more of those, has to make it back to the stage. Pavelski spot dodges, and the fear of punishment makes Swata not even come close to the side of the stage as Pavelski secures game number 5, gets that win over Swata, and moves on to winner's quarters. What a set to start off the tournament, Ajax.
Last year's BCX champ finding himself in a bad position already in elimination. going down at the start of top 32 is going to have a long way to crawl back up to get himself into a potential podium finish, which after what just happened with Pavelski, that is going to be a very difficult thing to deal with. That is some of the best play out of Pavelski we've seen in a bit. Like, we'll see it in moments, individual rounds, but it replicated its success through those last few games. And even though Swata made it very competitive at the end,